So the big news about Floyd, what do you say about that, Sean?
What they're looking for are eyeballs, right? Where does this fall, Mayweather and Pacquiao, on the most legitimate Crawford-Canelo side of the spectrum, or the kind of sideshow Jake Paul, Mike Tyson side of the spectrum?
Why would they bring back the single most disappointing fight in boxing history? A decade after the $600 million letdown that crashed so hard it sent fans straight to the UFC, the impossible is happening again. Reports reveal that a rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao isn't just a dream. It's being seriously considered by the new powerhouse of sports entertainment, Netflix. And this isn't some wild rumor. This is a confirmed breaking story that flips everything we thought we knew about how their legacies ended. The bombshell first dropped from The Ring magazine, with insiders like Mike Coppinger backing it up live on a panel with Max Kellerman and Shady McCoy.
Cop bomb, or what do we
I don't know. You said I have singles. Is this like, what is this? A double? Or?
This is big news, actually. But go ahead, tell the people.
Man.
All right. So I am hearing from reliable sources that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, yes, more than 10 years later, a rematch is being seriously discussed to take place next year on Netflix. And Netflix, of course, is very much into eventizing these, whatever they put on, whether it's boxing or tennis. And so far, they've done Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. They just did they just did Canelo against Crawford. And obviously, a rematch between Mayweather and Pacquiao, even at this stage, would classify as a big event for Netflix. And I think there's a real possibility this is going to happen. Mayweather is now 46, I believe. And Pacquiao's around the same age. But look, this was the biggest fight in boxing history when it happened. And I think if it happens, especially after the way Pacquiao looked in July against Barrios, there would be serious interest.
Coppinger revealed that the talks are real, serious discussions for a massive event set for 2026. And this isn't just one-sided hype. Manny Pacquiao himself has now confirmed that negotiations are already in an advanced stage. When asked about the rematch, Pacquiao simply said,
"How long would you give it until you close the door on that rematch, or would you keep it open for as long as you could potentially keep it?"
Well, I feel initially like almost agreeing each other. A lot of things that we are agreeing each other, but there's a few, just a few conditions that we are still negotiating.
He even hinted at where it might happen, saying it would probably take place in Las Vegas, the city where legends rise and history repeats itself.
And would it happen in America? Could it be in the Philippines? Could you take it to other locations?
Probably it will happen in Las Vegas.
This isn't just a rumor, it's a full-blown negotiation. Some quiet backroom whisper. It's a calculated move by Netflix, a company that, as Coppinger said, is laser-focused on eventizing its content. The same platform that brought us Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul and the massive Crawford versus Canelo showdown. They don't just stream fights, they turn them into global moments. And now, they've locked their sights on the one sequel everyone claims to hate. But deep down, everyone knows they'd still watch.
Manny Pacquiao, 46 years old. We got Floyd Mayweather, 48 years old. Now, when they first met, it was one of the biggest fights, the biggest gate, right? But a lot of people said it was very one-sided. Floyd Mayweather dominated the fight.
You know, naturally bigger guy and better defense. But we will never actually know the answer to that question because we never got to see it 5 years earlier. Now, Shady makes the point, Malik, that this is not like Crawford-Canelo, and it's not. But it's also not exactly like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
It's nowhere near.
But why now? The answer lies in Manny Pacquiao. At 46, an age when most fighters are long gone from the ring, Pacquiao just went the distance in a brutal 12-round welterweight title fight. The judges called it a draw, but Pacquiao saw it differently. He said it happened again, that the fight felt more like a sparring session than a real contest. Speaking to reporters, he insisted he clearly won, scoring it 8 rounds to 4, or at worst, 7-5.
And they said it was a draw. What were you thinking in your mind?
You know, it's happened again. Like,
Bobby said that you told them it was like sparring. Bobby Pacquiao said, your brother said you told them it was like sparring. That it felt like it was a sparring.
yeah, like sparring. Yeah, like sparring. I would like my scorecard is like 8-4.
Okay.
8-4 or 7-5 is the worst.
Many experts and fans agree. He showed the world he still has it. The speed, the footwork, and that relentless non-stop rhythm that made him a legend in the first place.
The way how Floyd is looking lately, whether it's in the gym and the way how Pacquiao has been looking in his last fight, I'm really into the fight if they're going to do it again, especially if it's going to be on the best stage in the world, the ring, the Netflix, and the same type of numbers going on.
There is something interesting that Pacquiao just got a draw in the fight I thought he won against a world-class fighter at the age of 46. It's insane. And before that, he beats Keith Thurman. That's already 6 years ago after the age of 40, giving Thurman his only loss and knocking him down in the process in a great fight. That's insane. Floyd has not been competing on that level in years. Do you think that changes the way people look at this? Like, we all saw Floyd beat him the first time. And a lot of people like Malik and I all think Floyd would have won even had they fought 5 years prior to that. But now maybe had things tipped in Pacquiao's direction?
That single performance completely revived his value. As one host pointed out, the idea that a 46-year-old Pacquiao could arguably beat an active world champion says more about the state of boxing than the fight itself ever could. It proved he isn't some washed-up legend. He's still dangerously competitive. And that one reality is exactly why this rematch has suddenly become not just possible, but inevitable.
The fact that 46-year-old Manny came out of retirement after 3 years and went toe-to-toe and arguably beat Mario Barrios. Let's be honest, that's probably more of an indictment on the sport than this fight would ever be, but you're still going to get that feel of like, oh man, here come the novelty act fights. All right, this is what we're doing. I don't necessarily feel that way. You're going to get that feel with a lot of the hardcore boxing fans, like a Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, just like a Gervonta Tank Davis, Jake Paul, just like a Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul. You're going to get more of an attention outside of your hardcore fan base from casual audiences to watch a fight like this. And in that way, it is a net good for boxing. It just means more eyes on the sport. That is a good thing. And again, this doesn't feel like as much of a gimmick because they are two legendary names in the same or around the same weight. They had already fought before. You're talking about pound for pound, number one, number two greatest all time in those weight divisions. I mean, you can argue for the heavier guy. I'm just saying these are two of the greatest, and if they want to do it, even in their old age, I wouldn't recommend it. But then again, Manny just fought a world championship fight and looked okay compared to what he was in there with. So I don't mind it. I will watch this. I will break it down. I will enjoy.
This sets up a fascinating new dynamic, because what has Floyd Mayweather really been doing all this time? While Pacquiao just went through a grueling 12-round war, Floyd, now 48, hasn't faced a real professional boxer since Andre Berto in 2015, or had a sanctioned fight since Conor McGregor in 2017. Since then, his career has been a carousel of high-paying exhibitions, including that infamous clash with Logan Paul. For the first time ever, Floyd would be stepping into the ring as the one with possible ring rust, facing a rival who's still sharp, still active, and still dangerous. The script has flipped completely. Floyd is now the mystery, and Pacquiao is the fighter with fresh, legitimate experience. And the moment this news hit, the backlash was instant and brutal.
Huh? Am I reading this right? I know I ain't Floyd Mayweather in the Breakfast Club. I know I'm not. Ladies and gentlemen, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao in talks for a 2026 bout, whether it's a rematch, exhibition. Ladies and gentlemen, we waited 7 years to see Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. And then when it finally came through fruition, man, they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball so bad that people ran to the UFC. Man, I believe that was the last fight party that I attended to. Man, I'm lying. You's a liar! Party. But you understand what I'm trying to say. The whole world was waiting for this fight. The whole world saw this fight. Even the pay-per-view went to $100. Huh? But I ain't complaining. You's a liar! So you telling me that we're going to see these guys in a rematch and they're near 50 when in their 30s. It was so boring.
Fans remember 2015. They remember waiting 7 long years for what was promised as the fight of the century, only to get, as one host said, something painfully boring. It broke every revenue record in history, pulling in 4.6 million pay-per-view buys, just to deliver a one-sided, tactical snooze fest.
Mayweather and Pacquiao was easily the biggest fight of its era, of the generation. And it was the highest grossing fight of all time.
Sure.
Because it had 4.4 million pay-per-view buys at $100 a pop. Do the math, right?
When Pacquiao fought Floyd, even was it 2014? What was that? When did they fight for the big fight?
15.
2015. Whatever it was when they fought. And it was so hyped up, and I couldn't wait. And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
It was past its expiration.
Because they should have been fought when they both at their peaks, and they're like, okay, Floyd, Pacquiao, they didn't give us that. So now we're going to fast forward it, and we're going to fight it.
Even Pacquiao himself has since admitted the fight was boring. He explained that Mayweather doesn't even make his personal top 5 opponents because he spent the entire 12 rounds just running. Pacquiao said he genuinely felt sorry for the fans, for the disappointment that night became.
Why not Floyd Mayweather? Why isn't he in the top 5?
Floyd Mayweather, he's running the whole 12 rounds and he won the fight.
Manny, who are the top 5 fighters you ever fought, you think?
Barrera, Morales, Marquez, De La Hoya, Cotto, Margarito.
Why no Floyd Mayweather? Why not Floyd Mayweather? Why isn't he in the top 5?
Floyd Mayweather, he's running the whole 12 rounds and he won the fight. How is that? I mean, you know, I feel sorry to the fans because the fight is boring. You know, the fight is boring. Like, that's not the fans expecting to us. I mean, as a fighter, if I'm a fan, of course I want to see a good fight, like changing fight, not a passion show.
That feeling was summed up perfectly by veteran journalist Dan Raphael, who described the 2015 event as...
But as I said to you in Las Vegas, I'd rather set myself on fire than watch that rematch because it was, I've said that, I'm not even joking about this. It was the worst experience of my 25+ year career covering boxing. Absolutely horrible in every sense of the word. The fight stunk. That was the culmination, but everything about it was horrible. I have no interest personally. It's just a matter of like, do we not have anything fresh in boxing? Is it so pathetic that we have to run back a shitty fight from 12 years ago? I mean, look, Manny looked pretty good when he fought Barrios in July. It wasn't like he looked like an old man. I thought he won the fight, to be quite honest. A lot of people thought he won the fight. Floyd hasn't been in the ring in a real fight, quote unquote real fight, because his final official fight was against Conor McGregor, who was making his pro debut. You got to go back to 2017 for that fight. So we're coming up on a decade since he's been.
On the Rings panel, pundits like Shady McCoy said what everyone was already thinking, calling them legendary grandpas and warning, fool me once. The dominant feeling is that this is just another cash grab, one that hurts boxing by selling names instead of the sport itself.
You love boxing, right? And you're gonna pay your hard-earned money to see a boxing fight.
Yes.
I think we worrying about the names. Floyd Mayweather, I'm gonna watch it because it's Floyd. Pacquiao, I'm gonna watch it because it's Pacquiao. But when you have an event with Netflix and you got Floyd versus Pacquiao, it was like, come on, okay? Jake Paul and Tank, people gonna watch it just because of whatever it is.
Yeah.
Jake Paul and Tyson. Like, we are killing the game. Instead of having a real legit fight, everybody want to see like a Bud and Canelo, you coming to watch a boxing match. We coming to hear some names. That's what we come to watch.
You are so wrong, Shady. This is Floyd Mayweather, the most technically sound, gifted fighter of all time, going against a Hall of Famer, one of the technically sound most fighters of all time, Pacquiao. And they're just doing it at an older age. I am so into this.
But what's truly fascinating is that beyond all the business talk, Floyd himself has admitted just how dangerous Pacquiao really was. In a rare, candid moment, Mayweather once said,
Best fighter I fought probably was Manny Pacquiao because of his movement.
But you made it look easy.
But he's a hell of a fighter, and I can see why he won so many fights, and I can see why he's going down as a Hall of Famer. It's just certain moves that he...
Yeah, Max, I think that with Pacquiao coming off of the draw against Barrios, I thought he probably won too, close fight. But I think in some strange way now, this rematch, if it was ever going to take place, now is kind of the perfect time because Mayweather won the first fight, obviously. Yes, Pacquiao had the torn rotator cuff, but Pacquiao now 46, Mayweather now 48. Malik says that, yes, Mayweather has not fought professionally since 2001, what was it, 21 or no, 17 actually. I think Conor
He's
McGregor.
had some exhibitions.
I think Conor McGregor, 21 was the Logan Paul exhibition. But yes, with how Pacquiao's looking now, I think this is kind of the perfect time for this fight if it's going to happen.
Floyd knew the man he beat that night wasn't the real Manny. And this is where the story takes a turn. What if the 2015 fight wasn't the real story at all? What quietly came out after Mayweather cashed his check was that Pacquiao had stepped into that ring with a torn rotator cuff, a serious injury that left him compromised from the opening bell. That single truth changes everything. It wasn't a fair fight. It wasn't Mayweather outclassing a prime Pacquiao. It was a one-armed warrior trying to crack the code of the greatest defensive boxer alive.
We've seen the best Manny Pacquiao. That guy we haven't seen in quite a long time. And with Floyd Mayweather, again, we've seen little things of him in the gym over the years. He's a known gym rat, even to this day. But what's he gonna look like at 50 years old, really competitively boxing against a guy that, again, honestly, he beats 10 times out of 10 in their prime and even at this stage of the game. But as what Netflix is seemingly trying to do is they're trying to be the platform for spectacle.
Many, including fellow legends, think the fight simply came too late. One analyst, asked what might have happened 5 years earlier, said that while he still believes Floyd would have won, it would have been a much more controversial decision. He described that younger Pacquiao as a relentless Pac-Man, constantly throwing punches, and concluded that version of Manny would have given Mayweather a far tougher fight.
Pacquiao, Mayweather. What would have been different had they fought, let's just say 5 years earlier? Because everybody believed they wanted that fight. We had been clamoring for that fight for 5-10 years. Had they fought 5 years earlier, is the outcome any different?
Let's just say it would have probably been a controversial decision.
Okay.
You know, like a closer fight. But I still think that Floyd probably would have pulled it off. I really do think so. Pacquiao at the time when he was coming up, when I fought him, he was literally a Pac-Man.
Right.
He was just chomping at me like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop throwing punches. That Pacquiao probably gives Mayweather a better fight.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if he wins, but he gives him a better fight.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you feel this fight happened a couple years?
A little too late.
Yeah. This rematch suddenly raises a shocking question. What happens if a healthy Pacquiao faces an older, slower, and inactive Floyd? One analyst speculated that because both are a bit older, a bit slower, it could actually produce a better fight. But this rematch is far from guaranteed. A new controversy is also brewing because Pacquiao has younger, arguably more dangerous options. While the Mayweather bout is on the table, Pacquiao's team is also deep in talks for other matchups. In fact, when asked about a rematch with Mario Barrios, the fighter he just drew with, Pacquiao's manager was quick to shut it down, signaling a clear new focus.
What are your thoughts on the rematch that they asked Barrios?
Mario Barrios. Who the wants to see him? Manny Pacquiao beat Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios. Not in a bad way. I like it. What Manny Pacquiao beat Mario Barrios. Why should he? What does he need to fight him again for? You know, if Manny wants to continue fighting, there's fighters like Rolly Romero. There's fighters like Gervonta Davis. There's guys out there. But it's just sick. I hate this sport. I really hate boxing. This is the ugly side of it.
This perfectly highlights the new landscape. The frontrunner is reportedly Rolly Romero, who has been openly calling out Pacquiao, saying he wants a Hall of Famer on his resume. When asked about Rolly's challenge, Pacquiao just smiled and said, "If he can beat me."
We spoke to Rolando Romero, who's a potential opponent for you in the future. He said that he would like to have a Hall of Famer on his resume. What do you tell him?
To me, if he can beat me.
But even more shocking names are emerging, including the explosive knockout artist Gervonta Tank Davis and the relentless Conor Benn. These aren't 48-year-old legends. These are young, active killers.
He said the three names they're looking at are Rolly Romero, Gervonta Davis, and Conor Benn. So Conor Benn obviously is going to be fighting Chris Eubank Jr. in a rematch November 15th. On this show last week, Ben told us he's coming back to 47 no matter what.
Yep.
And we have Gervonta Davis, who of course has the exhibition with Jake Paul, also in November. And those are the fights for Manny right now. Whether it's the first fight or the second fight, those are the guys he's looking at.
What I will say, though, about the matchup, which I like for Pacquiao, people that put pressure on Rollies, they kind of unravel him pretty quick. I mean, you've seen that with, what's his name, Pitbull Cruz. So I like that part of it. If Pacquiao still has that intensity in a way where he can put pressure on somebody, he's going to have a good job. He's going to do a great job. But lately, he's been ba-ba-ba and then backs up a little bit. You know, he's not...
Pacquiao's son, Jimuel, even weighed in on the Raleigh fight, saying, "I think he'll take an L though. I got my dad for sure." This sets up a real dilemma for Pacquiao. Does he go for the legacy fight, chasing the biggest payday? Or does he risk everything, facing the next generation of killers?
Well, not really happy with the draw, but you know, I thought he got a 7-5. So, yeah.
Where do you want your father to go from this, man?
I mean, rest, you know. Right now, he should focus on getting rest, you know. But he is 46 now, so like me personally, you know, I love him. I just want him to be safe. I don't want him to take any more punishment. Yeah, I thought he did win. You know, I thought it was a 7-5 fight. So I thought he should have been my dad.
And for Floyd, as Dan Rafael noted, there's already word he's set to face Mike Tyson in an exhibition. Where that fits into all of this is anyone's guess. What it does reveal, though, is the new battle for the soul of boxing: spectacle versus sport.
What I found interesting is that a month and a half ago, there was an announcement that Floyd Mayweather was going to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition match. So I'm not sure where that fits into the situation. I mean, supposedly they have a signed agreement for that fight pending landing, I guess, some kind of broadcast partner. Whether they've done that or not, I don't know. But, you know, it seems like Floyd, for a guy that's been retired for almost 10 years, is pretty busy.
The news has even prompted other legends like Shane Mosley to throw their hats in the ring, saying, "I want to fight Manny Pacquiao next, and then I'll take on whoever beats Floyd Mayweather." Analysts, as always, are completely divided.
Pacquiao's 46 years old. He just fought, to a draw, and he's proven that age is just a number. Actually, I want to fight Manny Pacquiao next. I'll fight him next, and then I'll fight the winner fights Floyd Mayweather. I want to get out there and show the world that I'm still here. You can't get rid of me. You know, when I'm ready to leave, then I'll leave. If I'm not ready, though. I love boxing.
Some, like analyst Malik Scott, are all in, fully backing the idea.
Apparently, according to the Ring magazine, and we're going to get into the announcement, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are in talks for a rematch in big 2026. This is real. I am not lying to you. I would never do such a...
But perhaps the most honest take came from host Roberto Flack, who pointed out that even if you hate it, this is just Netflix's new business model. And as the WOD Concept host admitted, am I upset about it? No. Will I watch it? Yeah, I will. Flack captured the situation perfectly. The truth is, if and when this actually happens, we're all gonna watch it.
I really don't know how to feel about this. Like, am I upset about it? No. Is it the thing I'm most excited for in 2026 for the sport of boxing? No. Will I watch it? Yeah, I will, because this is a bit of a different thing than Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Both these guys are old. Both these guys, I mean, I'm just saying it like it is, they are. Both these guys were at one point the highest level in the world, but when they fought, it was about 5 years too late then. That was 11 years ago, and we saw how the fight went then. What would make it any different now? The only thing I can think of is because they're a little older, a little slower, and they're still willing to get in there and do it, that maybe we would get more of a slugfest. I still don't know if Mayweather's reflexes have diminished that much. I mean, we saw Manny Pacquiao go toe-to-toe with a sitting world champion in the sport of boxing right now, Mario Barrios. That may be more an indictment on the sport than this fight would even be.
So, is this the desperate sequel nobody asked for? A final cash grab from two legends long past their prime? Or is it the one chance, a decade too late, to finally see the real fight we were all cheated out of? We never saw Mayweather face a fully healthy Manny Pacquiao. Now with Mayweather older and inactive, and Pacquiao looking razor sharp. So sharp that even critics like Rafael admit, I thought he won the fight against Barrios. The one question that was supposed to be settled in 2015 has been shockingly reopened. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming content. And don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.